Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. We get together most weekday mornings, 8 o'clock Central, talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, all around the topic of creating fundable businesses. I think that you would agree that there's a lot of small businesses out there, a lot of entrepreneurs, people that maybe have dreams and aspirations of starting a business, some that have already started, so whether they're pre-formation or early stage. So there's lots of small businesses. If you were to conduct a poll of all of those millions of small businesses, if you were to ask them what's their number one concern, I think you would agree their number one concern is access to capital. Most small businesses need more funding to start and to grow. Well, so that's the target market, isn't it? Where do you and I come in? Well, you and I have a grant subsidized program that solves that problem for the small business owners. We help them create a fundable business. Because as we've said before, it does not matter how badly you want money. It does not matter how badly you need money. If your business isn't fundable, you're not going to get business funding. So when we applied for the grant and received the grant, it was developed to go from ground zero, where an entrepreneur has absolutely nothing in place, to creating a fundable business in a 30 to 60-day process. How do we do it? That's described here on the screen, the 4-phase graphic. So any of you who are current distribution partners, this should be your bread and butter. This should be, in my opinion, our opinion, what you should be using to describe what we do. The deliverables are listed very clearly in bulleted format. The process is outlined in the 4 phases that we go through. So if you're not using this to explain to your prospective clients, I think you're really missing out. And today's topic isn't to teach you how to present, but you will find that if you go to chapmanloanprogram.org, there's a certification training that's free at the bottom of the page, very bottom. And the first of the 5 training modules teaches you as a distribution partner how to teach this to others. Not our topic today, but just kind of sets the context. So welcome. Regardless if you are an entrepreneur looking for funding to start or grow a business, or an entrepreneur looking for a new revenue stream, our process is transparent, it's legal, it's ethical, and it's 100% effective. I was talking to, I'm horrible with names, Freddie yesterday, and Freddie is not on the Zoom. And what Freddie's a realtor, and he's with a very large real estate organization. I won't mention the name, but very, very large, one of the biggest. And what Freddie really likes about what we do, and he's getting ready to start doing workshops for his realtors on this topic. What Freddie really likes is that we deliver what we promise 100% of the time. There is literally no risk, no excuses, as long as the client's participating, why we cannot deliver exactly what we promised, which is to create a fundable business to be able to go get the business funding. So with that being said, at any point during our conversation today, if you have questions, comments, concerns, type that into the Q&A box. It's like a chat box, and we'll field your questions as we go along. Today is May 1st. And the relevance is it's a new month, right? So you can look back to April, and if you are one of our distribution partners for the full month of April, your branch, what we call branch office, your branch should have generated $100,000 in the month of April. If it didn't, we probably need to do something different. If it did, let's do more of the same. But it's May 1st, and now we're looking forward, we're not looking back. We need to make sure that every one of your branches generates at least $100,000. Not too good to be true. And again, if you go to chapmanloanprogram.org, certification module number 4 will break it down for you. So you see in detail where the 100,000 comes from, that it's not too good to be true. But today's topic is we want to create a success story. So I want each of you who are branch owners, branch CEOs, I want you to pick one person, And we're going to work with them closely between now and May 31st with two goals in mind. Number one, we're going to make sure that they receive at least $100,000 from the Opportunity Fund. And then secondly, we're going to help them access a minimum of $250,000 of business funding. So it needs to be someone new. So if you already have clients, that's fine. Of course, we'll work with them and do those things that we promise. But we want to create a May success story, someone that gets started today on May 1st, that then we can take through the process and show the results on May 31st. So Bernard, we have 226, small number of you today, but Bernard, please think of someone and we're going to take them through this. Selena, Katori, Charles, David, Donna, Dr. Davis, all of you. Everyone needs to pick one person and we're going to take them through. So let's expand our conversation. We discussed, I think it was yesterday, the 4 buckets of money. And we, if you want to make it more professional, we'll call it sources. There's only 4 places, not 5, not 6. There's only 4 places that entrepreneurs can get money to start or grow a business. Let's go through those again briefly. There's debt, money that's borrowed that needs to be repaid. Now, there's different types of debt instruments. There's revolving and installment. There's SBA loans, non-SBA loans, so forth. So lots of different types of debt, but that's one category. So the premise is the entrepreneur gets money. Here's the pile of money, gets money from debt, and they promise to pay it back. So can we help clients get debt? Yes. How do we do that? By becoming fundable. Next, the next source or bucket of money is from equity. Equity is where there's an investor, could be a friend, family member, or stranger, that's putting money into the business, again, part of the bucket, that's putting money in, not with the expectation to be repaid back as a debt, which would be number 1, but instead to share in future profits. So that's another source. So I'm not saying that clients have to use all 4 sources. We're just laying all the cards on the table here to make sure we understand there's only 4 places money could come from. Third, earned income. We have revenue streams that are generating income and we reinvest it back into our business. And then the fourth would be grants/gifts. So you and I are unique in the sense that you and I can literally help anyone have a fundable business. We're very transparent. We show them the process to get the funding, and this funding could come from any combination of these 4. So, and Freddie's now on the line. Freddie, we were just talking about you. Thanks for joining. So what we're going to do is want each of you, including you, Freddie, everyone to select one person, and we're going to make them the May success story. What's going to happen for that person? We're going to get them at least $100,000 in May from the Opportunity Fund. And secondly, we're going to help them get at least $250,000 from the Chapman Fund. So we're going to help them get lots of money. So what do you do? So what are our action steps? If I could spell it, I can spell it. If I could type better. Action steps. Select the May success story person. That's your first step. Then we're going to get them enrolled so we can execute. So is everyone clear on that? That's our challenge, our call to action for the month. So Karanda, welcome. Please pick a person. Let's do this. Kendrick, day 1 for you. Welcome aboard, Kendrick. You're a brand new branch office. We're going to pick a person, Kendrick, and we're going to create a May success story with them. Dr. Davis. Now, you'll want to let them know that if they're going to go through this, what we'll call accelerated process, they need to agree to be a testimonial. So on May 31st, they agree to either do a recording or a written script that can be shared with others. So that's part of the deal I didn't mention. They need to understand that we're going to feature them as a success story, a 30-day success story. All right, so Timothy's asking what are the qualifications or pre-qualifications? No, you don't have to filter, because remember, how do we pre-qualify participants? There's two questions that we ask to determine if they're a good fit. Who can tell me, go ahead and type it into the Q&A like chat box, what are the two questions that we ask to pre-qualify a prospect? Is it about their religious preference? No. Is it about their credit scores? No. Is it about their marital status? No. What is it that we need to know to determine if someone should be enrolled? Okay. Katori's on the right track. So the first question is, do you need money to start or grow a business? Because if they say no to that, we need to move on, right? Because there's no further conversation to have, at least about this topic. So that's pre-qualification question number one. And then Katori nailed the second one. Okay, if yes, do you have a fundable business? Now, that's a magical question, because most people don't know what you and I know. Most people don't know what it takes to have a fundable business. So that opens up an educational opportunity for you to teach them what that means. Well, what does it mean? Well, it's essentially using this 4-phase. What does it take to have a fundable business? Well, we need to have the foundation of a fundable business whereby it is well suited for funding. In other words, a credible address, needs to be good standing with the Secretary of State, needs to have EIN bank account set up. So we need to have the foundation. Then we need to have a strong business credit profile with multiple trade lines. We need to have strong business financials with demonstrated collateral. Then we need to identify the right source of funding based upon the client's mitigating circumstances. So back to the question, they probably don't know what it means to have a fundable business. To me, it's interesting how financially illiterate most people are, because trust me, if you ask this question, most people will say, oh yes, yeah, my business is fundable, when in truth it's not, but they just don't know. So without beating them over the head, it's an educational opportunity, so you can bring out this graphic and explain what it takes to have a fundable business and how we deliver it. Also, what you want to become very effective at, and this is what Larry Johnson is remarkable about, is emphasizing the value proposition to the client every step along the way. Because we live in a society that typically they're saying, what can you do for me today? Because it takes 30 to 60 days normally to create a fundable business. That can seem like a lifeline for a lifetime for a lot of small business owners. So what happens in phase one? Well, we're getting them their first tranche of financing, typically within the first 7 to 10 days. Okay, well, that's good. And then in phase two, we're adding trade lines, real trade lines, primary trade lines that they can use. We'll go get them a company car under the EIN, fully tax deductible. This is an example of our Porsche 911 that we bought in a business name. So it's real. We go buy, if they want, business vehicles in the business name, business credit cards, business real estate, and you see examples. So they're seeing tangible value in phase one, phase two, then phase three. What we're doing now is actually transferring $10,000 over to them, which of course is referenced over here in the quick cash. So every step of the way they're seeing value, and that's what Larry does well, and I encourage all of you to do, is when you're emphasizing, when you're educating using the 4-phase, make sure they know A, what it takes to have a fundable business, because they probably don't know, and B, how we help them, and then C, how they're seeing value every step of the way. So it makes enrolling a no-brainer. All right, so let's go back to the topic. Does anyone have questions on what we're doing? We're going to create a May success story. Each of you are going to select someone. We're going to get them started today, and we're going to run them through the 31-day process. What we're going to get for them is at least $100,000 through the Opportunity Fund, and then at least $250,000 through the startup program. Anyone have questions on what we're doing for the May success story? All right, Eric is asking, can we have more than one? Sure. So if you want to make that plural, we can make that May success stories, but we really need to get them in today or tomorrow, so we have the full month of May to pull this off. So sure, Eric, if you have a couple people, that's fine, but we're going to take them through an accelerated process and create success stories, so then they can go stand at the top of the mountaintop and tell everyone about how your branch delivered. Because remember, in our model, you are a white label or a private label partner. So when you're going out to the marketplace, you're going out under your branding, not ours. We're behind the scenes, we're your vendor. So you don't need success stories from us. We have plenty of success stories, but you don't need success stories from us. We need to create success stories with your branch, because that's what you're going out to the marketplace. It's like Domino's Pizza, right? Domino's promotes their pizza. Well, someone makes the pepperoni in some pepperoni manufacturing plant in Cleveland, Ohio, but no one talks about the manufacturing plant in Cleveland, Ohio, right? So we're your back room. We're your pepperoni makers. It's about you having success stories. So many of you are missing that. It's about your success stories. We have success stories. It's on the website on Chapman Loan Program. We did a whole presentation on our success stories. But that doesn't matter. What matters is, do you have success stories for your branch? And we're going to create at least one this month, or like Eric, several. So yes or no, go ahead in the Q&A. Will you agree to create a May success story for your branch? I'd like everyone to type a response in to the Q&A. Yes or no? If it's no, I mean, it's your choice. You're not going to be forced to do it. But I'd like to get a gauge of how many of you are willing to create a success story in the month of May for your branch. What do we need to do? You need to figure out who that person or people, if it's plural like Eric is, and they need to enroll today. So we have the month of May to knock this out. We're going to take a very aggressive approach. Sarah's asking, can it be her? Sure. Yeah. So if you want to be the success story, you could, but that's really not the design of it. The design is to take a new person, brand new, starting today, and then to show in a 30-day period the results. So, I mean, you're welcome to do the same thing, Sarah, and everyone else, but so it's not like we're asking you to pick one person to have as a client for the month of May. That's not the point. But we're wanting one person that's willing to stand from the mountaintop, and for Freddie's branch and for Gilbert's branch and for Harold's branch, go tell the world about how great Freddie's branch is, or Gilbert's branch, or Harold's branch. This is not about us. We're the pepperoni maker in the back room. It's about you and your branch creating a success story. All right, so Jeanette says she wants to get funded first. Well, great. So Jeanette, let's play through this. So you open up a can of worms. So Jeanette's looking for funding. Jeanette, do you have a fundable business? As of today, Jeanette Shepard, you're on the line. Yes or no? As of today, do you have a fundable business? Waiting for Jeanette to respond. Now, Jeanette's one of our branches, I believe. So she should know what it means to have a fundable business. Most people don't. That's why you have to educate them. This is really a poor question, because you'll get a weak answer. Most people will say yes, even though they don't have a fundable business. But it's the bridge for you to start educating them about what it really takes to have a fundable business. So Jeanette, you want to get funded before you go help create a success story. Fine. Jeanette, is your business fundable as of today? She says no. Okay, great. So you're aware of that. So that's what we would need to do for you, Jeanette, or anyone else that wants this pile of money over here. That's fine. And the pile of money could come from any combination of these. Fine, you want a pile of money, Jeanette, but we have to have a fundable business. Because as we've said, doesn't matter how badly you need money, doesn't matter how badly you want money, we must qualify for it. Now, what are the qualifications? Differs. So do we want debt? So let's play along, Jeanette, since you and I are interacting. So Jeanette, you want funding first. Do you want debt, Jeanette? Do you want equity-based capital? Do you want earned income, Jeanette, money you don't have to pay back? Or do you want grants or gifts? What's the category that you want, Jeanette? So waiting for her to respond. Kendrick says, what if I'm at the beginning stage of the startup program and I don't have a startup business? Well, no, we create that, right? That's the whole point, Kendrick. And I realize today is day one. We just sent you the onboarding 10 minutes before the Zoom, but we create a fundable business, right? And we start with the infrastructure, business credit, financials. That's what we do. So okay, so Jeanette wants grants only. She wants free money, and that's fine. That's fine. So we still need to get your business set up properly so you look credible. But what's true is, regardless if you want debt, equity, or grants, we still need to go through the same process. It's just the money will come from a different location. Now, earned income is different. We frankly don't need to go through these steps to get earned income. We can go get earned income today. We don't need any of this to get earned income. And earned income is the first of the two things. All right, so with that, what we need to do is plug in. We want each of your branches to generate at least $100,000 in the month of May. That's our model. That's our platform. It's not a hope. It's not a dream. It's not like, oh, if all the stars align and we have another eclipse, it could happen. No, it should happen. Don't understand that? Go to ChapmanLoanProgram.org, view Module 4. Actually, you should watch all 5 of the certification training modules, but Module 4 talks about the money. But the specific action step, let's just take a little step today. A little step today. We're going to create a May success story for your branch. You're going to identify someone, and we're going to get them started today. We're going to give them special attention. We're going to accelerate it. They just need to agree to be your spokesperson to provide the testimony for your branch. Because again, some of you get confused. It's like, where's our success stories? We have success stories, and again, there's a training module on Chapman about it, but this has nothing to do about our success stories. You're a private label or a white label branch. This is about your success stories. Let's make sure that every one of your branches has a success story. But again, as Eric mentioned, it can be plural. But this would be a group of people, person or a group of people that we get enrolled today, no later than tomorrow. Today or no later than tomorrow, because we need the month to pull this off. All right, if you have any questions, of course, you can call us, you can email us. All of our contact information is on ChapmanLoanProgram.org. We get together most weekdays at this time. Feel free to join us back tomorrow. Let us know if there's anything we can do to assist you in raising capital for yourself or making money, helping others. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Bye.